Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Soroka, founder of NotaryCoach.com and the Sign and Thrive Notary Training Course and Community. Welcome to this latest episode of Profiles in Ink, where we're profiling Miss Judy Lichtenberger out of Houston, Texas. Judy, welcome.
Hello, Bill. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm just excited to sit down with you and chat a little bit about your business. Judy, you have been in the business for how long now?
Going on a year in March.
Going on
yeah,
a year.
over a year. Sorry.
Oh yeah, okay. Little past a year.
Little past a year.
Your journey has been pretty amazing. In 1 year, you've really got a lot of experience that I think it might take others 5 or 10 years to gain. You've been through a lot, right?
Yeah, it seems like it's gone by so fast. It was just like yesterday when I was getting those commissions, and getting everything. Well, I had the commissions before then, but I mean, getting all all my credentials together to step out and help people.
Yeah, I love it. And that's one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you is your willingness to help people. You've really grown a big community. But before we really get into that, I want to talk a little bit about what you did before you became a mobile notary and loan signing agent.
Oh, yes. In 1999, I signed up to be a insurance adjuster, and I've been doing that for many years. My last tour was Harvey, where they sent me to Florida because that's where State Farm's main office was. Florida, then we got evacuated to Georgia, then we got moved back to Florida, and yeah, that was my last tour.
That's pretty intense.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And doing that, I mean, that seems really active. It keeps you in the like almost on the front lines of what's going on in the country as far as natural disasters go. But what made you decide to leave all of that and become a mobile notary and loan signing?
Well, basically, I was a desk jockey, so I was not getting any exercise, just sitting behind the desk all the time. The outside adjusters would bring in their estimates and we would process those, plus handle front end, calls or adjustings that we could go ahead and just kill on the front end. It was a fast-paced environment, and but not getting no exercise really. I wanted to get out and and find a whole new career really. And this has been the best one by far. I love it. I love signing.
What's your favorite part of it?
Helping people get to a better place, because whether they're buying a home or they're refinancing, selling a home, getting a property tax loan on it, it's exciting. It's an exciting time for them. They're getting, put in a better place that helps their family. So, yeah.
That is pretty amazing. One of my favorite aspects too, for sure, is just being able to help people out. Sometimes we're meeting people at the best of times. Sometimes it's the worst at times, but helping them get to a better place. I love and appreciate that too. And I have to say, Judy, if I had to pick one person in my entire network that I would identify as an outgoing people person, that's you. Do you enjoy people?
I love people. Yeah.
That's gonna bring us to a couple major points that I know that you want to share with everybody. But now, so you left being an insurance adjuster. You started your own mobile notary and loan signing business. What's your company's name?
It's Eagle Eye Signings, LLC.
Love it. So you chose to do an LLC for your business.
Yes.
And how many people are a part of your organization?
For the Eagle Eye Signing, about 8.
Awesome. So you've got 8 other notaries that you'll farm out business with?
Yes. Now I don't do it too much this year because I just give it to them on a referral basis, which even feels better. But yeah, 8 people I can call at any given time and they'll help me out.
That's powerful. Having a team like that, because you can't always be in 2 different places at the same time. Right?
Not here in Houston.
I'm having a hard time doing that in Phoenix too.
Yes, I know. It's a long drive. What did you say, 8 hours to get from Phoenix to Phoenix?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the the three suggestions that you would have for a new notary entering this business. We kind of talked before, with the camera, so we have a really good idea of kind of what you would leave with a new notary. And the first thing that you had told me is you said, get a mentor. Can you talk a little bit about why you see a value in that?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Because the mentors, I mean, they've done it before. They have already made the big mistakes, and they have like a roadmap of what you're going to do when you get your assignment, to what you do when you leave and you're sitting out in your car. They've already paved the road for that. So why not get somebody who knows the business, and you have things that you need to know along the way. And I have my notary coach, which is you, and we have Martin Renteria, who's local Houston, and he helps out a lot with the group. And just having my eight on the phone, where I'm able to, type something in and say, hey, what do I do? I need it, 911. And everybody's there's always somebody there will jump in and help you out. Like, I needed help on Friday. Can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
Friday. Oh my goodness. So I had 6 signers and it went clockwork. We had no problems there. Everything was just perfect. It was with my eye scanner. And my eye scanner, it didn't want to send the docs that I needed to scan to title. And I don't know, it was raining a little bit that day. So I don't know if I had a good connection in the first place or what was going on. But for whatever reason, the file wouldn't go over. And I had to head to my assignment at 12. So I went into like this FedEx to grab their free Wi-Fi. I was going to different places trying to get a good connection. Nothing would work. And she's like, it's getting very urgent. We need those documents. And I'm like, yes, I know that, I'm thinking in my head, it's very urgent for me too. So I get to the lady's house with my 12 o'clock. And, I'm kind of sweating, but I didn't want to bring it into the to the table, because she was doing something very fantastic and I wanted to give her my time. So she didn't have her husband there. She was kind of afraid to sign by herself when he's always been there. So she's like, let me get him on the phone. So she was calling the bank, her husband, the bank, her brother, the title office. I mean, she was one of those that was very particular about everything, which was fine with me. So she's like, I need to get on the internet. And she was doing some things too from her little laptop. And I knew she had a good connection. So I told her if I could borrow her, her password. Sure, absolutely. So she was doing her thing and I sent the files off and it was just like that. Nice. So that was over, but things like that come up all the time. So before that, I'm 911 on the phone. Raymond, my eye scanner's not going through. He's like, break the files up. He knows how to do stuff like that. I didn't know how to do it, but I just, I think it's a lot of just calming down. Calming down and just letting things happen.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to slow your mind down and not get too caught up in the drama of the situation, for sure. But what you're saying is a couple of interesting things here. We're talking about finding a mentor, first of all. Yeah. So finding a mentor is extremely important. But I want to come back to a couple of things. Definitely. So how does somebody find a mentor? What are some recommendations for you? I know you have both a live mentor and the online mentor, right? So what are your suggestions for finding them?
Yes. Well, their willingness to share their information, which you can tell right away if they're loving their job, if they're sharing, and just making sense and making sure that they have their credentials themselves and they're actually doing the work. I mean, that's important.
So where do they find a live mentor like that?
I would just plug into like your local meetup, like mine, a local meetup, or a Facebook group, or just get yourself, Bill, your group's wonderful too, the Sign and Thrive Notary community. That's who I started with. And I mean, I really like them over other groups. They were very welcoming. And when you have questions, I mean, you need those questions answered. And everybody's there in the same boat, kind of working through things. So you never feel like your question's dumb, or even though they may have talked about it the year before. I mean, you're brand new, so you can post it out there and nobody hollers at you, and it
Yeah, I
needs
think
question answered. So,
it's so important to have a positive group for sure. I mean, if,
definitely.
I love what you talked about, where you really have to get dialed in to
Yes,
the local community. And going into meetup.com and doing a search of notary groups is a great way to do that. And then the other thing, Judy, I know you've got run into this in your group, and I hear about it all over the country. If you're
yes.
looking for a mentor, you got to build a relationship first. You know,
Oh,
you're going to hear this all the time, guys, in this business. Lay the foundation for a relationship. If you come in and just you're this new guy and you're like, who's going to mentor me? You know, it doesn't go like that. You want to
mm-mm.
slow your roll a little bit, step back, get dialed in, see what the vibe of the group is, see what the vibe of the individual is. And like Judy
Absolutely.
says, the cream is going to rise to the top. You're going to see the people who love what they do.
Amen to that.
They're going to be
That's true.
passionate about what they do. And as they get to know you a little bit, it might evolve into a mentor relationship. But if you try to force a mentor relationship too soon, Judy, right,
Yeah.
it will turn
It's
something
weird for
off.
both of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets weird real quick.
They're like, okay, stalker. And then, you're like, oh man, you're just afraid to ask the questions. And sometimes I get picked to be a mentor, but I don't think that, I don't feel ever that I am. Um, like Ernie, we'll take Ernie. I love Ernie. He's new to our group in our Fantastic Eight. And he just attached to me, and he wants to know right down to the paper I used, to like, what's your best. And I give it to him freely because, hey, that's what I learned from somebody. So they told me, and I'll share it with you. And
Right.
yeah, I love helping people.
That's the magic of the whole thing. And I know, Judy, one of your big passions for this whole business is the helping part. And I think this is a really good time to talk about your second takeaway is the idea of being a super connector. And that's my word
Oh, yeah.
for Judy. Judy was talking about how she has this amazing network. She loves to help people. She's always referring notaries to each other or to jobs. And then she's got her loan officers or real estate agents. Well, what Judy is a super connector. She is constantly connecting people who can help and support each other. Can you tell me a little bit about what your philosophy is and why you enjoy doing that so much?
Oh, sure. Because we don't know it all, and we don't need to know it all. I mean, stay in your lane. I'm a loan signer. I'm not a loan officer. I don't work in escrow. I don't know anything about taxes, but people do, and they ask. And the more that you're out there, the more people have questions regarding, hey, do you know a good realtor? I have a situation. I have back taxes on this piece of property that I own. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can connect them, and that's pretty much your job. Connect them and then go, because you don't get any referral. I don't want to be in the middle of it. I just want to connect you to somebody who can help you right then.
Yeah, that's really the power and the beauty of this whole thing, right? Is just being a resource for people and really genuinely and authentically helping them get the information they need.
Yes, absolutely. And then of course I can't handle all of Houston. Houston's so big. So my team of 8, and it's growing. And then I've got my meetup of 138. So I mean, there's always somebody out there who works on the other side of town that can cater a loan signing or a general notary work, or maybe something. General notary work, I used to not feel too comfortable with it, so I would hand it to somebody who was very experienced at it. And now I'm with Bill's help and in his Sign and Thrive group. We just recently had a class on wills, last wills and testaments, medical directives. Now I feel like I'm an expert after my trip to the library, which I followed up with that. And I've done maybe 3, but you just have to take your time and make sure that you're following the rules, and being
Yeah.
very careful, making sure that the things are there that needs to be there in order for you to sign, and not give information or advice that you're a lawyer, because you're not.
Right. So, and having the amazing resources and an amazing team is so beneficial for doing that. Let's talk about that meetup group real quick, because you've got 138 people that are participating in your meetup group. If somebody wanted to find you in Houston, what's the name of your
Oh,
group?
it's the Loan Signing Agents and Notaries of Houston, Texas. Or you can just go on Meetup and look up Notary, and it'll show you the group, and you can join. It's kind of a private group because not a lot of people want others to know what their hobbies are and whatnot. So I keep it private so they can be private.
Gotcha. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The third thing that you wanted to leave with new notaries was the importance of daily habits and routines.
Oh yes, oh yes, and that goes back to this morning mastery, and I just love. I always have to get a book for something, but this is my miracle morning, and it was meant for my grandson. But I have so much fun with it, you know, and it just tells you basically that you have to, you know, keep your knowledge or skills up, and to have some sort of morning routine. Get up early. You get so much done early in the morning, and just getting yourself prepared for the day. And that could be just as simple as making sure that you have all your supplies in your bag. You know, your
Yeah,
pen.
let's talk about that, because you said something really in particular, because sometimes you'll have a crazy day and by the end of the day, all your pens are gone. So what do you do to stock yourself?
You need to do it every morning, because something might be missing. And me, I like to leave stuff. I take everything out of my bag and put it around my desk while I update my spreadsheets, because I have like my little work orders, and then I have my notary book, you know, and it's all laying around, and I forget to put it back in my bag. So it's one thing that after I get up, and of course they have so many things. You can exercise. I've tried to cut out coffee. Coffee is my worst enemy at times because I'm so hyper anyway. It gets me on a whole new level.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just want to make sure that you have all the supplies you need to do your job. And for new notaries, the best piece of advice I can give you before you even get out there is know your documents. I mean, just know them. And there's classes that you can take that I would recommend you do, and know those documents backwards and forwards. Take the classes that are offered. So that way, you know, that's something that's like secondary, that you don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about, you know, making sure that you're giving that customer 150% of yourself when you're sitting in front of them, because that's a fun part. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's so huge. And I'm so glad that you brought that up. You know, it's real easy for us to just say, yeah, know your documents, know your documents, know your documents. And that seems like it's common sense. I hear it a lot from new notaries. But the reason that we want to have a system and a script and knowing the knowledge behind those documents is so we can be 100% present for our customers, right? If we're so stressed out about the documents, not knowing what they are, the documents get our attention, and then that's a pretty miserable experience for the signers, right?
Yes.
So,
I mean, and you never know what kind of situation you're going to come across when you go to an appointment. Like one day I showed up at this really posh apartment complex, and it was like to do, and there was this security, and I had to get my car. I'm worried about not getting towed, so you know that's my main. Can I get valet parking? Can somebody tell me exactly where I need to park? Because they will tow you over here in Houston real fast. And I got through that, and the elevator, you had to have this code to get to the top floor that I needed, the fifth floor. And the gentleman's like, I'm not ready for you. You need to be here right at 10 o'clock. Because I let him know, hey, I'm here 15 minutes early in case you want to get started. Well, he was paralyzed from the neck down. So he had all these gadgets, and he had his social or his assistant living person there. So, I mean, it was a lot, but you just have to be ready for anything. There's so many things that could happen. And he was the sweetest man. He was the sweetest man. And he was funny. And he was selling yet another house. I mean, he was doing lots. And I think about people that say you can't do it and all the things he was doing. And he was paralyzed. I mean, he owned all these properties. He was flipping stuff. He was just, you know, doing the most.
It's pretty amazing who you get to meet when you're doing these appointments. Right?
That's the funnest part. So, I mean, why would I ever want to be stressed about worrying about paperwork? I want to know about this man. He was wonderful, and he was so sincerely, wanting to help others as well, you could tell. And he wasn't always like that. But you're there to hear their stories. He wanted to tell me all about how it happened. And, he wanted me to show me the latest TV he got. I mean, you just have to make time for that. That's the good stuff.
That really is. That really is. And no matter, across the board, and you tell me if you agree, but the people that we get to meet, the signers, are really some of the coolest people that you'll ever meet if we give them a chance to be cool. Meaning,
Yes.
you give space to connect and not just bury your head in the paper and focus on your insecurities, right?
No, and you pretty much want to be ready, because sometimes there will be some people that would just test you, when you get in there, and they want to, like the lady at the 12 o'clock. She was so nervous herself about, she never did this before. She always had her husband there, but now it was her turn to step out on her own. And so she had all these reaching out here, lifeline there, just kind of, and it was funny. And she was cool all at the same time, and she was a very nice lady.
Yeah.
But she wanted to make her husband proud.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, Judy, is there anything else that you want to leave for a new notary or any notary that is looking to go to the next level? Anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yes, it's just very important to get yourself a mentor, get involved in a group, because there's other people that are really knocking it out of the ballpark, and you want to be there and watch them and see what they're doing. Take, for instance, Jason. Jason, I was like, hey, he's getting a lot of business. What's he doing that I'm not? And it was general notary work. So just ask, hey, what's going on? So I called him, and he was able to share all kinds of things. Hey, got my website going, and I've got my name on Google Business, and I wanted to know. So then I dove deep, because I have all the tools at my disposal through your group, and I was like, hey, I didn't see that in there, so let me hone in on that. I got my business Google Business page, and it's just going to be it's a baby step kind of thing, and I've taken it baby step where others would maybe get their website first out and rolling. It's been almost a year, and I just got that last month. But don't be hard on yourself. Take those steps. Take your time. Make sure that it all will come together. And I think that's how it grows, by leaps and bounds, is when you're letting yourself and being kind to yourself and going at your own pace.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, Judy, because there's this unrealistic expectation that we're supposed to know everything about everything already.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, we're starting a notary business. Not only do we have to learn how to be a notary, meaning we have to know the notary laws, then we have to know the loan signing, the documents, then we have to know how to build relationships, and then we have to know how to manage a business. And some of us haven't even done that before. So we get this paralysis because it's just so overwhelming. But the key is to be kind to yourself, just like you just said, and keep making progress. This is where the habits and routine really comes in.
Yes.
Always be moving forward.
So I have here knowledge, skills, beliefs, and habits. Yes. And that's all the things in that morning mastery. But I mean, you just have to find the right mentor that's going to help you with those steps, that adds value to your daily living and your business. Because if you find the wrong person, I mean, it's going to be evident that they don't have really time, and you can just kind of tell if they brush you off or if they don't get back with you. I'm laughing because I had that one interview with that this gentleman. The interview went good, but he put me with another person who had the interview on top of mine, so it was like a 2-hour interview. And I was like, hey, it makes him look like he's telling them that that's my mentor, because we're on the same, and to this day that guy never called me back, and I've been trying to reach out to him for like 3 months. But I don't know why people aren't sincere. You'll know when they're cream of the crop. You just know.
Yeah, it is. And you got to trust your gut in this business. That's one thing I've learned, whether you're doing a notary appointment or you're looking for a mentor, or if you're looking for somebody looking for training, right? When it comes to notary training, there's all kinds of options out there. And you just have to trust what feels right and good for you. There's some really good training out there from different instructors. And I really encourage people just to follow their gut and go with the one that feels good. Would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Like Bill said, it's about building those relationships and getting to know someone, taking the time out to go through their information before you ask a question. Maybe it was in there, but just to this day, I still dive into Bill's information. He keeps adding stuff. I can't keep up with him. I can't. You're always adding something new,
Yeah.
and which is good. And there's no, extra charge for it. He just does it because he feels we need it, so that's a good thing.
Well, it's been my pleasure, Judy. Thank you for sharing so much of yourself and this business. And thank you for making such a huge effort in your local community to grow the knowledge and the wisdom from notaries everywhere. I really appreciate that you've really taken this on and made such a big difference to so many notaries in the Houston and Texas area. Yeah. Everybody, this is Judy Lichtenberger. Judy, if people wanted to get a hold of you, where could they find you? Via email or phone? What do you prefer?
I would just try to find me online, and then my phone number will be there. Email the meetup group, because I'd like to see you in person if you're local. I mean, that's the fun. That's where the fun starts, and that's where you learn a lot, because I mean, you have people there that even though the class is over, they might stay an hour afterwards.
It's true.
So just come out.
Yep. Yeah, I love that group, and I just got a chance to hang out for the second year in a row with your group. And Judy, that was amazing. I'm so grateful to you and everybody who showed up. That was an amazing experience for me as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for growing yourself and your business with Judy Lichtenberger and the Profiles in Ink by notarycoach.com.